Good morning. This is Allie. And before I get started with my little ramble, I just need to make a very important announcement. My announcement is this video and this message has not been approved by the faithful and discreet slave. Continue listening at your own warning. Okay. I just thought I'd pop in. I came down here this morning, watched the sunrise. It's risen. A nice parade of ducks swam by. They're going pretty fast. I was impressed. But I wanted to make a correction because I have been corrected, and I am more than happy to stand corrected. Excuse me. And also I thought that this update would be of encouragement to any of you who may be experiencing ostracism or shunning from your family and friends. My message to you is don't give up on them. I had made a video last week. It was a 2-part video where I was kind of having a funky morning, and I took a walk and I shared the experience of having run into my brother, who's an elder, and he only lives 2 blocks from me. And it's just, it was one of those times where it's like you run into a person, you see them, and everything comes flooding in, like all the feelings that you thought you had dealt with and you thought you were over. And so my brother and I had this exchange. Well, I just want to make a public apology because he informed me that I misrepresented him. So I would just like to say that my brother has no problem with the word research, and he believes in research. And also, the reason he walked away from me at the end of our conversation is because I asked him what he thought of the Nuremberg trials. After, see those little ducks? They're really fast. Sorry. I had asked him about what he thought of the Nuremberg trials and the Nazi officers who were just following orders. If they were just acting out of ignorance, or if they could plead ignorance and just say, we were just following orders. And apparently that hit a button, and he felt like I was calling him a Nazi, which I don't know. I think the question is valid, especially for any elder, when they just say, we're just here taking care of our local congregation. That may be true. I know a lot of elders who are good men. I think of the congregations I've been in. I've been in congregations in New York City, in New Jersey, in Texas, and in Wisconsin. And I can honestly say that in every single one of those congregations, there was at least one elder who I felt completely comfortable going to receive spiritual counsel and comfort. Like a kind, safe man. But the fact of the matter is, the reality is they cannot act independently. They cannot just say, I'm listening to the voice of Jesus or the voice of Jehovah God, and I'm only using the Bible. No, they have to report to their superior. They have to report to the coordinator of the body of elders if they're not the Kobe, and And that person has to report to the circuit overseer, and the circuit overseer has to report to the branch, and the branch has to report to headquarters. So they're not autonomous. They're not just acting as a local congregation. So I think the structure and the hierarchical organization of the Jehovah's Witness elder arrangement is very similar to the military, like the Nazi military arrangement. And I still stand by that question. What do you think of the Nuremberg trials? Let's end on something positive. Anyway, I just thought that anybody listening would feel encouraged, because there's still tremendous hope for our family and friends, even though it can be incredibly raw and sometimes bring up pain when we try to communicate with them, and our gestures of love and just seeking connection get shunned. So check out these trees. I was just sitting down here watching the sun, and I saw this quote. It is by a Mr. Ram Dass. I've heard of him. I don't know him, so I don't endorse him and his teachings, but I like this quote. Here's the quote. When you go out into the woods and you look at trees, you see all these different trees, and some of them are bent. You sort of understand that it didn't get enough light, so it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. The minute you get near humans, you lose all that. And you are constantly saying, you are to this, or I'm to this. That judgment mind comes in. And so I practice turning people into trees, which means appreciating them just the way they are. And I would add to that quote, if you notice one of your friends is getting a little bendy, that just means they need more light and more love, so give it to them. We don't all have to be straight. In fact, that's why I love walking in the woods, looking at like all these gnarly trees. And I have some gnarly friends, and I love them. I'm kind of gnarly. I'm gnarly and crooked. But it's all good. We're all good. So I will leave you on that note. It is April 19th, 2020. Found out my state is not reopening until May 26th at the earliest. So that is 5 more weeks? 5 more weeks. And it's still not going to be quote unquote normal after that. Oh boy. Okay. Bye for now.